It's unsafe to run with the Olympic torch that close to your face in the ACTIVISION DECATHLON from 1983 from Activision. I'm still waiting for these zombie multiplayer DLC level packs, where you run away from zombies trying to eat you. 100 meters, hear the roar of the crowd! Yay. Yay. In addition to some crowd noises, this game could use zombie levels to make it more exciting. It's never too late, Activision. Perhaps that can come out for the 2016 Olympics. As I'm recording this, the London Olympics have just ended, and the excitement of the decathlon is still with us on the Atari 2600. Who's the greatest Atari athlete in the world? The one who can waggle the Atari controller the fastest. Or in my case, the one who can push the Sega Genesis D-pad the fastest while resting it on a coffee table. Which is really a much better way to play this game. You've been scratched, and your penalty is that you lose an endorsement deal. Jack Daniels will no longer sponsor you. In the Activision Decathlon. Decathlon. I always put an A in there for some reason. Which, like other games from Activision in the early 1980s, is technically solid and impressive for the Atari 2600. Albeit not one of their more exciting games. You basically do the exact same thing over and over again. You waggle the controller as fast as possible, and for some of the events like Shot Put and Javelin, push the button when you're ready. As the word decathlon would indicate, there are 10 events. Sadly, BMX bike racing is not one of them. When did that become an Olympic sport? Oh, here comes the high jump. Here's a fun fact. I used to be the high jumper on my track team in high school, but that was before I discovered beer and pizza. But that doesn't mean I still can't be a professional Activision decathlete. Maybe I have trouble hopping over the coffee table to get to another beer and pizza these days, but I can kick ass in the 400 meters by using 2 fingers on the Sega Genesis D-pad to rock it back and forth and run really fast. It's kind of like doping, except not really. Look at that speed! I'm like the white, out-of-shape American Usain Bolt. Oh, this gets boring. Playing this game with the Atari joystick just looks obscene, and is one of the best ways to break your equipment. Don't read too much into that. Like the real decathlon, you earn points depending on how well you do in each event, and you can play with up to 3 of your friends for an exciting 4-player decathlon. Ashton Eaton and Trey Hardy got nothing on me because I've got a Sega Genesis controller resting on the coffee table. Here comes the discus, and you've got to give the designers credit. It's a good-looking game for the Atari 2600. The little person actually looks like a little person. And afterwards, you can take your Atari guy to the Atari Olympic Village, where he can attempt to sleep with the entire Real Sports field hockey team. You should be able to blow him up with the jet from River Raid. Yay. Boo. Here comes the Javelin event, and to top it off is the 1,500 meters. So that's 3.5 minutes of waggling your controller, or repeatedly pushing the D-pad. 3.5 minutes that you could be blowing things up in River Raid. Seriously, it's a nice concept, but not one of the most exciting games, and I'm going to do what the Americans and Soviet Union did in the 1980s and just boycott the 1983 Activision Decathlon. It's time to relive the Cold War on your Atari 2600 and play some Missile Command instead.